Welcome to Practices from the Road. I'm Dr. Jen Lane, and today's practice is a tutorial on Bakasana. You've also heard it called crow pose, and it's probably the most common arm balance in a vinyasa practice, besides downward dog and plank pose. So I'll start by showing you the full expression of the pose, and then I'll break it down and help you warm up into it, and we'll go back into Bakasana together and take it into more advanced variations of crow pose. Okay? So I'll turn to the side so you can see me, and I won't talk about it at all much. I'll just go into the pose and you can see what it looks like and get an impression in your mind. Okay, so that's it. That's the pose. So come to your knees and sit on your heels with your toes tucked. Start with your hands. One of the most important part of an arm balance is to protect your wrist and have a really solid foundation. So your hands become the foundation. Spread your fingers and claw the air. And as you claw the air, feel the muscles on both sides of your wrist, both your flexors and your extensors of your wrist engaging. So you have a co-contraction which supports the little bones in your wrist. You don't want all of your weight to crush those little joints and bones there. So you claw the air, or when you're in the pose, you actually claw the mat and hold onto the mat with the pads of your fingers, making little suction cups in the palms of your hands, and a little arch in the carpal tunnel between the base of your thumb and your pisiform down at the base of your pinky finger, all the way down just before the crease of your wrist. So let's do that a little bit. And an exercise with the arms up overhead, fingers spread, clawing the air. Inhale, stretch. As you exhale, pull your elbows down and wide, clawing the air as you do so. Feel all those muscles on either side of your shoulder and shoulder blade engaged. Good. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, pull down, clawing the air, shoulder blades drawing down on your rib cage. And a few more of those. Inhale, exhale, bend the elbows wide. It's like you're engaging the muscles to pull down a bar with weights. Okay, again, pulling down. Like a lat pull, right, in the gym downstairs. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, pull the elbows wide. Shoulder blades draw down your back. Okay, very good. And release. Do you feel how that's already warming up your shoulders? Okay, now let's come to all fours and create some mobility in your spine, doing some cat-cows. As you may have noticed, in the expression of crow pose, there's a nice rounding through the thoracic spine. And the thoracic spine is the area from about midway down your back all the way up to the base of your neck. So you want to have mobility there, not only for the pose, but also for a healthy neck and shoulders. So a few cat-cows, articulating through your whole spine. And when you're rounding your back, feel especially for opening and widening across the middle back. And you can do this with the breath either way, either inhaling to round or exhaling to round. You'll notice a different effect depending on which way you choose to breathe. Okay. So now take the knees wide, untuck your toes, and sit back on your heels, coming into an extended child's pose. Walk the hands forward. So another piece of the crow pose is to be able to have a deep flexion in the hips. And so see how that feels in your body. If you have some discomfort in your knees, you may feel more comfortable with a towel or blanket tucked between your calves and your thighs, right in the pit of your knees. So here, bring your breath into the middle back, into the upper back, and round. And so you're lifting your elbows and you're lifting your armpits from the mat, creating space. And then soften, bringing the chest and the head downwards towards your mat. Take a few breaths here. Then come up to all fours. Claw the mat with the pads of your fingers. Remember that throughout the whole practice. Lift your knees and hips. Come to downward dog. In downward dog, if you feel a little tight in your calves or in your thighs, in your hamstrings, you can walk it out a bit, alternately bending one knee then the other knee. Okay. Now bend both knees deeply and bring your belly towards your thighs and do a little bounce. Keep your shoulders steady on your back and your hands steady on the mat. So you're just bouncing, getting some resilience in your legs. Now deeper bend through your knees, bringing more weight back into your legs. Look forward and come to plank pose as you inhale. Then exhale, bend your knees and draw your hips back. So you're bringing your belly closer to your thighs, getting that nice deep crease in the hips. Look forward, inhale to plank pose. Claw the mat as you exhale, bend the knees, hips draw back. And a few more of those. Inhale to plank. Exhale, press back to bent knee, down dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, bent knee, down dog. One more. Inhale to plank. Exhale, bend your knees, draw back. Good, and then walk your feet forward, coming onto the tippy toes. And then bend the knees, sit down, lie all the way down on your back. Interlace your hands behind your head. Let's do some abs. So one of my yoga teachers, Anna Forrest, who I trained with back in 2005, used to say that arm balances were 500% core. So let's get the core strong, doing some elbow to knee, some really classic Forrest yoga abs. Knees and hips are bent at 90 degrees. Hands are supporting your head. As you inhale, lift your head and shoulders. And then as you exhale, lift your tailbone up. Take another inhale here. Exhale, twist elbows towards left thigh, right leg goes forward. Try to keep your knee over your hip. Inhale, center, lift your tailbone up. Exhale, twist the elbows to the right thigh as the left leg goes forward. Inhale, center, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the left, right leg goes forward. Now pull your belly down. Inhale, center, curl and lift the tailbone. Exhale, twist to the right, left leg goes forward, pull the belly down. Inhale, center, curl up. Exhale, twist to the left, right leg goes forward, pull belly down, and then re-lift your tailbone. Inhale, center, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the right, pull your belly down, and lift your tailbone up. Inhale, center, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist left, right leg goes forward, belly down, tailbone up. Inhale, center, curl up. Exhale, twist right, belly down, tailbone up. Come back to center, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist left. Let's add one more thing. Pull the belly down. Lift the tailbone up, lift the bottom tip of your left shoulder blade up. Inhale, center, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist right, left leg pull forward, belly down, tailbone up, right shoulder blade lifts. Back to center, lift everything, tailbone, shoulder blade, hold it, and then exhale, release, and relax. So there are your 500% abs that you'll use in your arm balance. Place your feet down, rest your hands on the mat, and let's lift the hips to open up through the front of the pelvis, the thighs, and the belly. After those deep, strong abs, it's really nice to do a counter pose and do some bridge. It also creates some nice mobility through the thoracic spine and extension, so you can get the full spectrum of extension and flexion through your spine. Great, and then release. Bring your hips back down to the mat. Hold your knees in and rock forward and back along the length of your spine, holding the backs of your knees as you rock. Then play with planting your feet down and standing at the top of your mat in the next rock or two, with or without your hands, rising up, reaching up. Okay, open the legs out wide. And we'll take them your leg distance apart, open the arms out, turn the palms up and inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, bend at your hips. and bow forward. So we want to cultivate flexion at the hips. It's called a hip hinge. Bend the knees and move your weight back more into your heels. Inhale to the pads of your fingers and lift up through the chest. Exhale, rock your weight back into your heels, opening through the backs of your legs. And then keep your weight back as you bow. Hold the mat with your finger pads. Bring your shoulder blades on your back. And then breathe. Inhale to the tips of your fingers, hands to your waist, rising all the way up to standing. Stand at the top of your mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bow forward, bend the knees so you can bring your weight back into your heels. Reach up to the tips of your fingers, come up halfway. As you exhale, step your left foot back. Heel toe your right foot to the side of your mat and lower the back knee down. Turn the right toes out and you walk your hands forward, coming down to your forearms, or use blocks underneath your forearms if you have them at home. So we're opening up now through the hip flexors and through the inner thighs, the adductors, to allow for greater ease in the arm balance. As you can see, I'm rocking side to side, and that helps me. Helps me move into the joints and get in deeper into the deeper layers of muscles. And then left hand can stay down on the mat, right hand to the inside of your thigh, pressing away. Do a gentle twist, spiraling through the torso. And you can give yourself a little counter pressure as you push your hand into your thighs, push your thigh back into your hands. So you learn that squeezing motion of the thigh inwards, which will help you in your flight into Bakasana. So keep that pressure, hand to thigh, thigh to hand. And then keeping that pressure, see if you can lift the back knee up. And as the back knee up lifts up, that back hip, thigh also rises. And lower the back knee, take both hands down to the mat, turn the right toes forward, gaze forward so you look where you're going, and step the left foot forward. Have the feet wide. Rise to the tips of your fingers, and then transfer your weight into your left foot and step your right foot back. Lower the back knee down, turn the left toes out. Walk your hands forward and come down to your forearms. And then you can rock your weight side to side. Ease your way into this lizard lunge. And then you can bring your left hand to the inside of your thigh, pressing your thigh away as you lean back. And then push your thigh back against your hand. So you have that meeting of the hand and the thigh, creating a healthy stress and tension through the leg and the hip. You can choose to look up and over your left shoulder, or you can let your head relax. Either one works. Keep pushing hand to thigh, thigh to hand, and lift the back knee up from the mat. Couple breaths here. Release your knee, release your hand. Place your foot back to parallel. If you've turned it out, lift the back knee, look forward, and step forward, right foot next to left. Rise to the tips of your fingers. And then exhale, turn your heels in and sink down into Malasana. So Malasana, if it hurts the backs of your legs or your heels are lifted up from the mat, place a blanket roll underneath your heels for support. And then rock your weight from side to side, feeling the hips heavy and the feet really grounded. So make sure your heels are on the support. for this pose. Now, push your elbows or your arms against your knees and squeeze your knees back against your arms. So you create that connection of arms to legs, legs to arms, and a very strong engagement through the inner thighs. The muscles of the inner thighs are the adductors. They help to bring your legs together, and they're often quite weak. So we want to build that strength, and it will really, really support you in your crow pose. Lengthen through your spine. Good, and then release, hands down to your mat. Step your feet back to down dog. From down dog, come to plank pose. And we'll just push into your hands, into the pads of your fingers. As you do that, round through your middle upper back. And then soften that space between your shoulder blades. And then again, push into the pads of your fingers and round through the middle upper back. And then relax. So your elbows are staying straight here. Push into your hands and round through the upper back. You're sliding the shoulder blades across the width of your rib cage. And relax. And a couple more of those. Pushing against the ground to get you that lifting and opening through the upper back. Relax. One more. Pushing to round. And then relax. Press into the hands, move your hips back, come to downward dog. From down dog, step your right foot in, lift the left leg up. Exhale to bring your left knee towards your chest, pushing into the mat to round the upper back. Inhale to reach your leg up and back, and now bring your knee to the outside of the left arm. Hold it. Inhale, reach the leg up. Again, knee to your chest, push into the mat to round the upper back. And reach the leg back. One more to the outside of your arm. Push in, and now push your knee. If you can, push your knee into the upper arm as you push your arm back against your knee and sustain it. Play with bringing your left foot, towards the midline and across the midline, keeping your knee connected. And then sweep the left leg up and back and place it down. Let's switch sides. Lift the right leg up. Bring your knee to your chest. Push the ground away to round the back. Inhale, reach your leg up and back. Exhale, knee to the outside of your arm. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale to the inside of your arms. Inhale, reach it back. This time, knee to the outside of your right arm. Push your knee into your arm. Push your arm back against your knee. Hold it here. Push into your hands. Round the upper back. Keep all of that and bring your right foot across the midline. Hold it. Sustain it. Reach it up. And place your foot down. Down dog. Bend your knees. Hop your feet halfway forward and come into Malasana. You can keep your feet a little closer together this time if your hips feel more open and hands meet together at your heart. Let's do Bakasana. The elements are the clawing the floor with the pads of your fingers, engaging your core 500% abs, rounding through that upper back, squeezing your knees into your arms, and then gently pressing your arms back against your knees to make that connection and to create healthy tension through your body. Hands down. Walk your feet together. Come onto the balls of your feet. Knees are to the outside. Oh, one more piece is you're going to transfer your weight forward. Feel your body is like a seesaw, and your head is quite heavy. If your head stays back, your feet aren't going to come off the mat. So claw the mat, shift your weight forward, round to the upper back, pull in through your core and through your belly to create that strength. Squeeze in and float your feet up. Keep the inner edges of your feet really powerfully working together. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Good. And that's it. Relax. Sit back on your hips, on your butt, and interlace your fingers and do a little figure 8 action through your wrists. How'd that go for you? Let me know in the comment section if it worked. Now here's the fun variation. Ekapada Bakasana. So you will Keep one leg connected to your arm while you bring the other knee in towards the center of your chest, and then maybe extend that leg back behind you. I'll talk you through it, and we'll do it together. So start in the basic form, and if that's all you want to do today, then stay with it. Work with the basic form of Bakasana until you master it, and then take it to the next layer. Okay, so hands are down. Claw the mat. Squeeze your knees into your arms, round your back. Transfer your weight into your hands, and lift your feet up. Now play with transferring your weight more into the left hand. Free up your right knee and bring it in towards your chest. From there, bring the right leg back behind you. Ekapada Bakasana. Now see if you can stay in the air as you bring your right knee back to the outside of your arm. That's a little tricky. Transfer your weight into your right arm. Bring the left knee in. And then extend the left leg back. Ekapada Bakasana, second side. And bring the left knee in. Whew. And you might fall, and that's okay. You don't have far to go. If you are afraid of falling and you're home, place a little crash pad for you with blankets and pillows, and then you'll probably be able to go into the pose with a lot more ease. So that's Bakasana, Ekapada Bakasana. And let's finish up with some Bakasana push-ups. Okay, so we'll start as we have before. This is pretty fun, and it teaches you to jump back to plank pose and move it into a vinyasa, which you probably will do. So I'm going to hop to the top of my mat, and you can do the same. Place your hands, fingers spread, claw the mat. Round through your upper back, engage through your belly, squeeze your legs into your arms, transfer your weight forward, and free up your feet. Now bend your knees like you're doing a chaturanga. You're doing a chaturanga push-up in Bakasana. Push into your hands and bring your elbows straight. And then bend the elbows again. Let's do 3 of those. Straighten the elbows. Okay, third one. Bend the elbows. Whoa. And then straighten the elbows. Now bend the elbows, shoot your feet back. Chaturanga. Lower down to your belly. Come into a Sphinx pose. Walk the elbows forward. And lengthen forward through the lower back. You did it. That's the Bakasana tutorial. Okay? So put your hands into the mat and move back into downward dog. Alternately bend one knee and the other knee. And we can finish up with a really sweet pigeon pose. Bring the left knee forward. Right leg slides back. Curl into the chest. And bow forward. Come down to your forearms. Or rest all the way down to your belly and take a few breaths here. I like to keep the back toes tucked. Helps with the alignment of the ankle, knee, and hip. And you can allow your breath to deepen. Find a slower rhythm. And bring your hands underneath the shoulders. Press into the mat as you step back to down dog. Alternately bend one knee then the other, walk it out. And bring the right knee forward and wide. Left leg slides back. Inhale into the heart. Exhale, walking forward. Bowing in. Make sure the back toes are tucked and your knee is pointing down to the mat, as well as that left hip point. And feel the energy in your body. I really love how my body feels and my energy feels after our imbalances. It's energizing. It's a really good way to reset, especially if you're feeling kind of stagnant and low. Playing with flying really shifts the pattern. And handstands are probably some of the best poses for shifting the pattern. Going upside down and practicing these Bakasanas will definitely prepare you for handstand. Alright, hands underneath. Move back into down dog. And alternately bend one knee then the other knee. And we'll come back down to all fours. Cat-cow. Take your knees wide, big toes together, sit back into child's pose. Breathe deeply into the upper back, lift the elbows, lift the armpits, lift even the base of your hands. And exhale, soften everything, coming back down to earth. A few breaths here. Slide your hands back and come to a seated position. We'll do a brief meditation together. So, as I always do, I'm going to come sit next to you and we can sit together. So find your seat. You can sit in Virasana with your heels on either side of your hips, or sit up on a block in that way. Or you can also sit cross-legged. And bring one hand over your belly and one hand over your heart. And breathe into those two areas. Belly, source of creativity and power and strength. And the heart, the way we share ourselves with the world. And our arms, our hands, are extensions of our hearts. It's how we share our energy and our gifts and our love with the world. So one hand to your belly, tapping into those gifts, into the creative fire that burns within you and helps you take flight. And then one hand over your heart, feeling the way that energy wants to move through you and out into the world. Breathe in through your nose, into your belly, and breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose, into your belly, and breathe out through your mouth. Breathe into your belly, and breathe out through your mouth. And now to your heart, breathe in through your nose to your heart, feeling the lift and the expansion across your ribs. And breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose into your heart. The upper ribs expand and open. And breathe out through your mouth. One more into your heart, deep breath. And breathe out through your mouth. Breathe into belly and into heart. And breathe out through your mouth. And then just gently press into the belly and heart through your hands, making a firmer connection. Release. Lie down in Shavasana. Rest and receive the full benefits of this practice and any breakthroughs you may have had. And I will see you again soon. From my heart to your heart, to the one heart, namaste, and blessed be.